Hey, it's Mike. I'm back again with a new show. It is called The Making of a Star. And I am here with two authentic actors who have something in common. They both battled cancer. I would say they beat it, but it came back and they beat it and they battling it, right? Basically. So look, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. You all right? Okay, we got this thing, we call it I go, I met. I go means I want to speak. I met means I am listening. Right? Okay, so if I hear you say I go, that means I'm gonna stop to say I met. That means once I say I met, then you got the floor. Right? There's a lot of knowledge in this room.
Okay.
And I know it's just going to be spilling over, and I don't want you to be over talking to each other, and we can't hear it all. So, boom. Introduce yourselves.
My name's Alanzo Phillips. I'm a content creator. I'm an actor, military veteran. I'm a 3-time sarcoma cancer survivor.
Hi, I'm Frank Craven. What's Ailing Hill in America, Friday nights at 11:30 on MNN. Thank you, MNN, for producing this show with Mike, and I've been on since 1998. Every Friday, doing a public access show, and my show is What's Ailing Hill in America, because my mom had cancer. She was a nurse, God bless her, a chain smoker all her life. My dad, they all died of cancer, a lot of my aunts and uncles, so I got it in me. And I had a few cancers, unfortunately. About 5 years ago, I had bladder cancer. And I got rid of that, thank you, Dr. Joseph at Harlem Hospital. I was urinating blood. Oh my God, I went to emergency ward. They took out a big cauliflower patch on my bladder, and then a month later they did another operation. And then last year at this time, in March, here we are taping in mid-March of 2025, I was the guest at Lenox Hill Hospital. Again, big colon cancer that was in my gut. And they found in my appendix, too, another one. So appendix and colon cancer, and they rewired my gut, and I survived that, thank you. And I'm okay now. Hopefully it won't come around again. My dad said cancer is always in our system. Whether it kicks in and metastasizes, that's the problem. So who knows? All I know is that I'm alive now, and I'm thankful for that.
Me too. I go.
Ahmed.
Right. Okay, then put that in there. Okay, that'll be cool if you see kids outside say, I go instead of arguing. Wouldn't that catch on? That'd be dope. Okay, now my show is the making of a star. But I want you to understand there's a connection. One thing about making it as a star, making of a star, one is where you've been, where you're at, and where you're going. But it takes training, and it takes courage, right? Courage and belief in oneself to get on that stage and perform. But there's another life that comes with it, and that life is called fame. And fame has another life to it. It's another part of the whole performing process. Not just the training and the performing, but the life and the troubles and the heartache and the bullshit that comes with fame and money. You know, they say money is the root of all evil, right? I'm doing this thing. Is it words of wisdom or a bag of bullshit? But
I'll go.
or both. I should say or both. You're saying I'll go, I'm not finished. Hold on one second. So I'm gonna get to the point. I want people to understand how important it is that dreams don't always come true. Things don't always go the way you expect it to. Sometimes you'll get rear-ended. Things will not, and you have to prepare yourself and be strong. Like I was a dancer and I fell. So they say the one thing a dancer wants to look out for is falling, right? You have, in the research that I've done, I've seen a lot of stars who died hard. I think her name was Rita Hayworth. She had red hair. She was a singer, dancer. Don't put the blame on Maine, boys. Put the blame on. I think that's her song. And when she died from losing her memory, and she was a dancer, and she needed somebody to help her. She couldn't even get to the bathroom. So I want to talk about the struggles that come with making it, and how you get back up. You know, like you say, you get knocked down, but you get back up. Like how you get back up. Like for me watching you, inspirational, because I'd have been out of it. I don't think I'd have been strong enough to even stand in front of people. I wouldn't even leave the house. But anyway, you started talking about your cancer. I just want you to say who you was, but it's all good.
Well, all right.
But let's talk some about you and what you went through with the cancer.
Well, I'll go. I want to make a comment.
What was it? Yeah.
About what you said, the money being the root of all evil. No, the love of money. Greed is the root of evil. Money itself is a tool, like gasoline. The more you have it, the farther you go. It's just a tool. And money and prosperity and having money is no problem. It's how you value your life and value time and really value the beauty of what it is you're living versus just being materialistic and greedy and out of control. That's the problem, the love of money. Money itself is just a thing. It's, you know, if you have a lot of it, great. If you don't, no problem. But the problem is your attitude.
Cool.
Just want to make a correction on that.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because really I didn't even mean to use that quote. But what I wanted to say is that money allows you to be the asshole that you really are. That was the quote I really wanted to say. That money, when you're rich, it just allows you to be the prick that you really are. Yes. You know, so there's a lot that comes with it, man. There's a lot, man. I remember being attacked because I had a girlfriend that was white and because I was doing movies.
Well, that's a whole other issue.
But I'm just saying, money, because I was flashy. You know what I'm saying? I was very flashy. And now you see me, I don't wear no jewelry. You know? You don't even see the fingers that were broken. I'll leave it at that. But go ahead. Yeah, you're right. It's the love for it, the greed. I was never greedy. Maybe that's why I'm broke. But what was you gonna say about you and how did you know? Like did you know you had it, but they told you had it?
What, cancer?
Yeah, I'm talking about his story.
They told me I had cancer, but first I started feeling pain in my hand. So it all started at 2014. So I was feeling pain. So for me, I don't like doctors. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like doctors. I don't like hospital. So whoever knows me very well knows that. So I'm like, all right, let me go to the doctor, the hospital. I'm like, all right, little pain. I was like, yo, my hand paining me, but it was swollen. So you know the hospitals, they always give you like painkillers or they give you antibiotics, whatever. They gave me that. All right, I went home, maybe like about a few days, start hurting me again. I'm like, yo, this don't feel right to me. So I was like, all right, let me go back. Once I went back, I requested tests. I was like, yo, let me do a CAT scan and an MRI, whatever. So they did a test and they found a tumor in my hand, the right hand. So they were just saying that it might be cancerous or not. So I was hoping the tumor not cancerous. So they did a biopsy, whatever case may be, and then they found out it was cancerous. So they did more research into it. So before they start diagnosing me with the cancer or whatever the name is to it, so they did more research. Once they did more research, then it came back as synovial sarcoma cancer. That is the rarest cancer out of the world. So 1 out of 1 million for people to get it. And then you get it before your 30th birthday. I was 29 when I got it. So, yeah, that's crazy. But for me, I was in a moment where my body was shocked and my mind was shocked. So I was trying to process it. And the doctor was like, you okay? And I'm looking at him like, yo, what? Like, how you gonna ask me if I'm okay? And he just broke down the news to myself and my auntie and my mom. And I'm like, they crying, and I'm trying to be strong not to cry, but, you know, I had teary-eyed, but, you know, I just had my moment, and I'm like, nah, this can't be. But I thank God, you know, like, I beat it for the first time and all that. So for me, I was dancing and listening to music that makes me get over my day. Like, when I start feeling my moment or whatever, I just
Yo,
start doing.
If there was no music, I would be dead. I'd probably be dead already.
Nah,
They'd have put me in a gas chamber or one of them, because music calms the savage beast.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had my savage beast moments.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The international language.
It can inspire you. And then it's like, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you
But
good.
there's certain songs that I know will change my mood. So that song, Sing, 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 it's a dun 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 dun
Gene
dun
Krupa.
dun. Oh, we got an audience. We at? Well, I think it was this in the soundtrack to Footloose, right?
Uh-huh.
And then no bass. What's his name? George. What's his name? Oh man, the swing band, the homie in his orchestra. Sing, 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 and then they got the Mamba version. Oh man, when I hear that, it just makes me want to make money. It's my money song, cause every time you see it, it's in a movie. They got money. It's always rich people partying on some yacht. Dun, 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 dun.
Some of my favorite tunes are from the Drifters. Up on the roof, under the boardwalk,
Yeah.
Saturday night at the movies. Man, they sang some beautiful songs. My girl, this that R&B, good old music stuff is we don't hear nowadays. Makes you want to sing,
If you look at my YouTube right now, you'll see I was listening to Dream Lover, Come My Way. Dream Lover.
Go my way, yo.
I was listening to Dream Lover, and then he said, "Cause I'm a wild one." Well, he said, "Cause I'm a wild," not "Cause I'm a wild one." The other one.
They
What are you
say
talking about?
to help with Alzheimer's or dementia, you put on earphones of the people when they were in their youth, listening to the songs they enjoyed as a teenager, and even their seniors. But it helps them coordinate their brain waves and be a little more coherent. Music is because think of it, tonal therapy. Like I know as a public access producer watching the show, people will tolerate a glitch, but they're not going to tolerate static. They're sort of grooving your program, and even though it jumps in and out and it's bad, it's cool. They care. But when you start, the audio is off, and it's like, oh, that's really repulsive. Audio is tonal frequency, and it's very important. So just
you
like
close
me,
your
I'm
eyes.
talking nice as an actor. I'd make my lines cool and sincere and deliver them, and we believe in it. And if I start, yelling and shouting, if the scene demands it, oh, it's great, it's drama. But definitely, when people start cursing and yelling, you don't want to hear it. Get out of here, get out of here,
Yo, sometimes, my nurse is Dominican, so sometimes I let her play her music, and sometimes I even do a little research and play songs so I can surprise her with a nice song. So I was listening to Diana Krall because she does sway. She redoes sway, and I like the way she redoes sway. But she got this song called Bésame Mucho. Bésame Mucho.
Como si fuese esta vez la última
Yo,
vez.
she be singing that song. Oh my God. And and I'm like, if I close my eyes, I'd be like, I'm not in America. I'm in Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? But so that was the first time. And then, see, because right now I'm going through the same thing. Well, I won't say the same thing, but I'm really upset because I've gone from hospital to hospital, and none of the hospitals before said they saw a tumor. No one ever said they saw a mass. And Montefiore was about to cut me open to do my hip. And the day I was supposed to do the hip surgery, I changed my mind. Like the day.
Well,
And
why?
I-
Well, let the doctors go in there and take out whatever nasty
No,
cysts or tumors you got in you.
No,
Get
you're
rid
not.
of it.
No. I'm talking about something totally different. My hip is not the tumor. I'm not talking about that. That's not what a tumor is. It's a different, I didn't have a tumor then. Nobody said anything about mass or anything. I had already went to the cardiologist. Cardiologist said he saw something, but he wasn't sure what it was. And he said, oh, it's nothing. Then he cleared me to have my hip replaced. So they're supposed to replace my hip. He didn't see no mass, but I refused to do the hip surgery. and I moved to Mount Sinai Hospital because I left the Bronx, and I moved to Mount Sinai because I used to live right there. We was talking about it.
Talking about it.
So I had to go to get out that building. I had to go to the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. I had to write to the city mayor, the district attorney, everybody. The senator sold me out. My letter, everything the case I was building, he sent it to the people that I was suing. So they knew everything I was doing. Then they fired the guy that I had built the case against. They let him go because I had a strong case. So my people at HPD spoke up for me, and people at the Department of Mental Hygiene said, hey, let's get your paperwork together. He set me up to see a psychiatrist. Then I had to go get all my documents, all my health documents. I had to get everything together. Then they turned around and they took me to see the apartment. They said I could go see the apartment. I didn't have to go on the list. I didn't have to go on Housing Connect. I didn't have to do any of that. I didn't even have to pay to move in. I didn't pay first or last or nothing.
It's great.
Congratulations.
They showed me the apartment. They said, would you like to see the amenities first, Mr. Joseph? They had me at Mr. Joseph. You call me Mr. Joseph, you pretty much it. But anyway, so first of all, I was stuck. When I got out the van, the accessory, I'm looking, I'm like, yo, the building's like 35 floors. I'm like, wow, it's like a whole complex, like all these other buildings. I said, this can't be it, this is fly, right? Then when I get to the front of the building, I seen the lobby, I was like, white people. My bad. White people, it looked like 96th Street. So I'm like, all right, this is too nice. I'm like, they're gonna tell me that I don't make enough money, that my income, they take you, see the place be fly, they be like, you've been accepted. I mean, they saw you for the lotto or whatever, right?
The lottery, yeah.
Yeah, but this dude said he looked at the place and he didn't want to tell me, he didn't even tell me the address to the last minute, because I Googled it. But then when I saw the lobby, he said, you want to see the amenities? I said, yeah. I was like, I want it. I didn't want to see it too easy. But then when they took me and showed me the gym, I'm like, we got our own gym. They showed me the terrace, the laundry.
Yeah, brand new building,
the TV was,
Nice.
Yo, they moved me in. They even called the van to move me in.
Oh, wonderful.
So see, that means if you know your rights, right? And you write to the people who pay the people that's supposed to be doing the job. For instance, like, I went through the system, so I have mental illness. So I got my apartment through subsidy, through my mental illness, and mentally ill, physically addicted. Well, when I first got my SSI, it was some mental illness and chemical addicted. I was getting high, right? And I was losing it, so physically and mentally, so I got my check.
But all that's over now. Your history, right? No more.
No, I'm still diagnosed. That's why I still get a check.
But you're not addicted to anything anymore.
No, I'm not smoking. No,
Yeah, good.
I'm not using no drugs. But
No, that's good.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's so funny how different I am now, because now I don't drink.
Right.
I used to drink, like, you know what I'm saying? I used to drink, like people follow me home type, wait for me at the bar, know I'm coming type, like keep a bottle on me, and like, I drink my ass off. But yeah, I don't drink, I don't smoke cigarettes.
Good.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run on like that.
Oh, you good.
But the thing that I think about is, I put myself in your shoes, or even try, or like just think of what my mentality would be like. When I hear you got cancer, because they trying to tell me they don't know what I got, and they pushing to do a biopsy. She's waiting for all these other doctors to say.
Well, good. Get the biopsy.
Yeah.
You never know.
I will tell
Preventive
you.
medicine. The sooner you get it, the better. You don't want it to metastasize through your system.
Yeah, I'm ahead of it. But that's why that's the thing I learned. Everything is how you look at it, your mental stability. You know what I'm saying?
In the old days, cancer was a death knell. Now it's many people survive it. You can't beat it.
But see, I don't feel like I have cancer. I feel like I've been infected by the mold that I was inhaling for 5 years.
Maybe, yeah.
My throat, my ear itches so bad, and I don't even have mold in my new apartment. You know.
Well, what I can say is, I tell people, if you start feeling anything, like any pain, anything, go to the doctor right away. Like, don't ignore the signs. That's what certain people do. They ignore the signs, and that's when like things start coming up or whatever. But for me, like how you said, like you think it was a mass, whatever.
They said it's a mass.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like for me, when I found out the third time I had cancer, they did a CT scan from October. I found out that I had tumor in my lungs or whatever, right in the left lung. So the cancer had spread from my hand to my left thigh, causing to have a soft tissue right here. So what happened is it started as a oval shape, and then after that it started getting bigger. So it shifted. I don't know how it shifted. I can't answer that question. Only the doctors had the answer. So it went from an oval shape, went into like a 6-inch Subway sandwich.
How much time? How fast did that?
It went fast, like quick, fast.
A month, 2 months?
From the time I got the results from October to December. So from that time, it just went fast. I started feeling pain like right here. It started getting worse and worse. At one point, I thought somebody kicked me right in my leg and it broke. It felt like my leg broke at one point, but I started feeling pain. So my surgery was from December 6th. So they say that if it didn't shift, and then if it ain't shifted to like a to the Subway sandwich or whatever, they won't be able to get all of it out, or I probably would have lost the leg. Thank God from that too. So then after that, that's why it's very important to take care of your health, because you might never know. Like, I try to educate people basically based on my story, and then try to inspire people. That's why I like to go to podcasts. I like to
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What pushed you forward?
Just by my
makes
experience.
you like you're going to be like John the Baptist? Like,
I mean,
spread the word.
I just want to spread the word. I mean, I'm motivated. I'm motivated for myself, and to like be inspiration for others. And then another thing too, you have to have a good support system, because you don't want to feel like you're alone. Like,
pressure.
The good thing is, I have my wife is a great support system, my son, my mother, my brother, my immediate family, and I got friends like yourself, and I got other people.
Thank you.
That's very supportive. You gotta have a good support system for real.
Yeah.
Cause you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone, and it'll drive you crazy too. But for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for me. Like, dancing and listening to music and doing content makes me feel good. Like, I feel like if I just like entertain people or just dance or just do something, I'll not only brighten myself, I'll just brighten somebody else. Because somebody else might be going through the worst situation that I'm going through, and they might look at my video like, oh shoot, oh my God, like I feel better. Like now it's like giving them, I want to say hope, but it's just giving them inspiration to do better. Like I tell my school kids, I work in a charter school, I say if you know better, you do better. So for me, I always trying to take whatever I learned as learning experience and just apply it to my life and just help others too. Because somebody took the time to help me to get better, health-wise, spiritual-wise, and mental-wise. So I'm gonna do the same thing, help other people.
I agree. Dancing like Qigong, you move your body, your energy. It's just a question of shifting. You got all 13 joints, move them, and exercise, and just, it's good to walk and move your arms and stretch and flex. They call it yoga, whatever. It's a question of your body not getting, in its comfort zone and always hanging out in the same position. You want to stretch and flex. That's why we love swimming. Once you're in that water, you're like weightless, and you can move your whole body around, and it feels great. And this is what we should do. And music gives us the opportunity to shake and rattle and roll and let loose and limber up, which is always a good thing to do every day anyway.
What I wanted to say is, like listening to you, it reminds me of, you're on a greater level though. I'm not comparing myself. But I do remember when I got hurt, I was in a truck accident. And I remember coming back from traction to from the wheelchair, the crutches, cane, to walking again, performing on stage. And then, I think about that, and then I remember when I got hurt again, and the show opened on Broadway, and I went to the Mart to see it. Actually, I was doing parties at Supper Club, and I came out to Supper Club, and I saw the marquee. It said Stand Up Tragedy, and that was my play. I was in the play at Hartford Stage, but when I signed to do regionals. I was supposed to travel with the show. I was supposed to do Hartford, I was supposed to do Broadway, then I was supposed to do like arena stage in Washington, and then I was supposed to finish in LA. So I had to audition like 6 times. But anyway, I got hurt. But I've had several accidents. But see, my thing was that I was never really greedy, you know what I'm saying, about money. And I even made mistakes. I turned down opportunities to sleep with stars, opportunities for parts, huge opportunities. But I decided to turn around and try to help people and try to put people on. And I wasn't charging them like Barbizon or the other schools. But the thing is that at the end of the day, I ended up being shortchanged. And I hope that doesn't happen to you. I hope that in all your good Samaritanness, all your good-heartedness of giving back to people and helping people, being a good mentor, pointing them in the right direction, all that, I hope that you don't run into people who don't respect it or appreciate it. Because sometimes when you're really nice to people, they take your kindness for softness and they don't appreciate it. And then you end up getting the shorthand. So I just hope that you get what you want out of your giving. Not just giving, but getting that you get fulfilled. Because, you get haters, man. You got people who say the dumbest things to you, because they see the good heart. I always tell you, big, you're a big guy, right?
Yeah,
big
man.
big
Man. You always tell me that. But
you know what I'm saying? I just hope that you get your rewards out of it.
Right.
And don't end up like me and pushing 60 alone and like with nobody. I don't even get that many testimonials. I get people send me pictures of them on the red carpet, but I don't see them on Facebook saying, yo, Mike put me on, But it's okay, because,
right.
it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
I'll go.
I'm mad.
Well, Michael and Alanzo. I'm Frank Craven. How do you do? I want to just address the fact that I firmly believe, even though I might be wrong, but always entertaining the benefit of the doubt, and we can't speak with certain about anything, but it is my belief and feeling that we're never alone. We have a guardian angel with us, and we have sometimes ancestors that have deceased and brought us, our parents or grandparents, and we also have God Almighty, the Creator. And even though God's involved with the universe and all of the planetary systems and all biodiversity of this planet paradise, and is sort of neutral in observing what we have free will, but there is a major cosmic divine energy that gives us pause and feelings that there's more than meets the eye in this world. And I definitely know there's a spirit world. And there are demons and negative entities, but I prefer the positive. And Jesus is my personal Lord and Savior and friend. He could be yours if you want. But if you don't want to call upon the Lord Jesus, you just have to call upon that higher self and that faith and knowledge that there are more things going on than we know about. And there's spirits out there. There are angels with us that help us. And so we have coincidences, and we have survival of accidents and drug addictions or alcoholism, because we're not going to go there. We have a purpose. And I don't know what exactly it is or why it is, but I do know that there is something metaphysical that's real. Mm-hmm. And so we're never really alone. Even though we like to think we're alone, we're not. And I'm in the habit of just referring to my invisible world, my little friends from my parents from an early age encouraged that. Oh, you talk to your invisible friends, your little angels or fairies or your spirit guides, and I was never ashamed into feeling, oh, I'm hallucinating or imagining things. No, I'm in touch with Mother Nature, especially when I go to Central Park and I feel the trees and the energy and the fairy and the Mother Nature speaks very loudly. If you listen, and any gardener will tell you, playing music to their garden, they get a better crop and the flowers bloom because they communicate with their plants. And plants, too, have spirits and energy. So I'm just saying that there's more than meets the eye in this world, and so we like to say, oh, I'm getting older and I'm alone, I don't have my family. Yeah, it's good to have your immediate family, but I got my ancestors, and I got God knows what in the spirit world that I'm praying for and thankful for.
I'll go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
I just want to say that mental health is very important because a lot of people don't speak on mental health and they don't know how serious it is, but mental health is very, very, very serious. So I'll tell people, check on your loved ones no matter what. You don't have to call them every day. Just shoot out a text, you know what I'm saying? Shoot out a text saying, good morning, how you doing? Like, where you at? Because you want to know where they at. Because they might be dealing with something that you don't know of, but they don't have the courage to speak to you about it. Just always just like check on your loved ones because you might never know. They might leave this world and you didn't have a chance to speak on something. If you, especially when you're having a confrontation or you're having a disagreement, you didn't get a chance to say what you wanted to say, if it's positive or negative. So you'd be like, oh my goodness, I ain't got a chance to speak to that person because that person is gone.
My friend from high school that I grew up with and I loved very dearly, he moved out of town, and within 2 years he dead now. It was the first time, and he died of cancer, but he sort of stopped communicating when he left town. I figured, okay, but he was eaten up inside. He was depressed and he was getting, sick. And he died of cancer, and suddenly now he's gone. And it's like I did reach out to him, but he didn't respond. I was wondering what's the matter. I'd leave messages and, come on, John, how you doing? And it was like, okay, so that's it. Yeah, we got to reach out and okay. Maybe they don't want to respond because they're into themselves or depressed or getting sick and they don't feel like socializing or saying hello. But as you say, it's good that we take the initiative and call our nieces, nephews, cousins, folks, friends and say, how are you? Just out of the blue, instead of playing games and wasting time and watching TV. Think about reaching out and communicating with your people.
I'll go. You'd be surprised. I'm not even waiting for the amen no more. I got it. I'm in. Right? I'll go. I'm in.
I'm in.
So, thanks. I forgot what I was going to say. But no, I'm back. You'd be surprised how a few words at a certain moment can change everything. Like, for instance, I was on the elevator and I was feeling kind of upset. I was feeling kind of bad. And the lady said, have a good day, out of nowhere. And it cheered me up, right? So like for instance, yesterday, I came real close to maybe going to central booking because, I have my nurse and I love my nurse, right? She don't speak no English, right? But this guy was very rude to her on the accessor ride. And I'm like, what you say to her? And I kind of went red, it was kind of like Vietnam, what I'm saying? When I was just like, yo, open the door, take this, because he had locked me in already. And I was like, why you flip on her? Like, yo, let me out. And then we got out the car. Now, old Mike would have just went in on him, would have just started smacking the shit out of him. And I went to jail. I went to central booking. But I held my head, but I saw that I'm still 2 bottles short. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really I was looking for my mace to mace this dude. Do you understand? So it only takes a second to snap, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then from that, I got mad. And my clients, I teach, my students say, yeah, Mike, but when you get mad, you get better. You start getting great ideas, because I do. I get pissed off, and then I just don't give a fuck. But anyway, so I was mad. So I said, all right, I'm not going to quit the business. I'm still going to do my thing, but I need applications. I need terms and conditions. I need real management contracts. And I haven't done that. I know I've been needing to do it. I just don't do it. I just do the handshake, pay me in cash. And something said, why don't you just ask somebody to do it? All this time we talking about getting an assistant, go on Yelp, whatever. And sure enough, I asked this lady to do it. She said, yeah, she'll take care of all my documents.
That's good.
So I went from pissed to happy. Now I'm looking at my apartment. The building knows what I do. I don't have to stop what I'm doing. I can use my place to do it, and I can do it out in the open. So a few words, just her saying, yeah, I'll help you, changed my whole attitude. And I used to always think about that. Do you look at the cup as half full or half empty? Guy was like, yeah, you sit in the house and you're all alone. So you could be like, yeah, I'm lonely. But you could also say to yourself, my rent is paid, I got food in the fridge, my cable's on. I ain't got no girlfriend, but I ain't got no girl cheating on me either. I ain't got no girl lying to me and farting in my face.
Cranking on you.
And telling me how I start shit for no reason. Women do that. They start fights just to get your attention because you ain't talking to them.
Crazy.
Catherine Hepburn had a funny line when they said, oh, you're so beautiful. And Paul, why aren't you married? What is this? Why are you single? And she says, oh, why should I sacrifice the attention of many men for the criticism of one man?
That's a good one. Can I get that again? Say that again. Yo, I love this guy, but he does that. He drops jewels and stuff. He be putting me in place. He said something to me the other day, that the one time, and it stuck with me. I was still thinking about it yesterday. He's like, Mike, what are you talking about? About age and she's too young or you're too old or money. He said, you want somebody that you feel a connection with. You have a connection. And you bond from there.
Yeah, it's chemistry and karma.
The
two souls meet. We're ageless and divine spiritual beings having a physical experience. So, many times people, married couples that are happy aren't always the exact same age and then went to the same school together.
See, I didn't get that. I think you want to say, I'll go.
Now, what I could say is, love find me. You know what I mean? I tell people sometimes, like, just let love come to you. Because the way I met my wife now, like, me and her had great chemistry, and she was just there at the right time in my life. Because, like I said, like, the second time I was dealing with cancer, she was my fiance at the time. So I know when she was real, when she stuck it by me. And up to this day, she stuck it by me. So it's just that, like, wow. Because I'm Aquarius and she's a Gemini. So Aquarius and Gemini get along very well based on the zodiac sign. So for me, I'm like, wow. I asked her, I'm like, yo, you really love me? I'm like, why you love me? And she's like, listen, I love you because your personality, your aura, everything about you just attract me to you. She's like, yeah, you tall, dark, handsome, chocolate. So that's what my wife was saying. So, but she been there. So I'm like, wow. And she knew I was doing what I've been doing, running around the streets. But she still stuck it with me. So I'm like, I couldn't mess that up. I couldn't at this point. I'm like, yo, I got to marry you. I was supposed to get married July of this year, but I was like, nah. At the time,
the pictures and everything.
At the time, 2023, we got married Saturday, October 28, 2023. I kid you not. And this is the story I always tell. We planned the wedding in 3 weeks. From the time that I had surgery in September, I left the hospital the 26th of September. We planned a wedding on the 1st, and we got married almost to the end of the month. We planned that in 3 weeks.
Wow, good job.
Like, we planned a wedding in 3 weeks with 40 people.
How long were you dated and together prior to that?
We know each other since 2021.
Oh, okay.
July, so...
The crisis of the pandemic, though, that was like everyone's lockdown. You guys were socializing.
Yeah, we were socializing.
How do you know? Okay, let me cut with a question. How do you know that somebody really loves you?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
of the opposite
How do you
sex.
know if someone loves you?
Not family, friends. I'm talking about a girl, the girlfriend love. How do you know?
Because you can argue till kingdom come, and then she's still there. You go through your changes, and there's just feelings. Love is a powerful thing that just doesn't quit. And it keeps going.
So the trials and tribulations.
There's always going to be trial and tribulation,
Is that
man.
what
We're
that
always
makes you
meeting
know that-
challenges in life, and especially with two people trying to groove together, you're not always in sync. But so what? You manage to keep afloat and keep going.
I'm trying to get on the same plane. I'm trying to confirm what you're saying. You're saying that you go through hell, you argue till I can't quote you, but you just said, the first thing you said was that you argue.
Yeah.
I said, how do you know somebody loves you?
Of course you're going to argue. That's the beauty of it, that you are working your differences out, and you're going to butt heads because a man and woman, we're two different, everyone's an individual. Born alone, we die alone. But when we try to groove together as a team, there's going to be a little bit of, ego friction. But in the final analysis, the ability to navigate through that friction and keep going is what proves love. Instead of saying, I'm out of here, I don't want to deal with you anymore, and I don't need to, it's like, I don't care, I don't want to hear from you. Versus, what do we do? I'm sorry, you're making me upset, but so what?
Okay.
I love you.
I go. You in?
Yeah, I go.
Okay.
Yeah, so you go through adversity. You know when somebody really loves you when you go through adversity. Because people could be with somebody when things are going good, but when you're going through adversity and based on the chemistry, you know that person really loves you. Like, for instance, my wife, like, we don't argue or nothing like that. We might have a little disagreements, but for me, I know that I'm the man and she's the wife, so I'm like, yo, you the queen, so I give everything to her. Like, basically, I'm like, yo, I recognize you. So she knows I'm her king and I'm her queen. So I'll be like, listen, I ain't gonna argue with you, you got it. So once I understand my position or whatever, if I know that I'm wrong, I'll be like, yo, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But we both communicate in a way that we understand each other, and then the adversity, once we do go through adversity, then the love comes stronger, the communication comes stronger. Then you start building on chemistry, so.
I go.
I'm in.
Thank you. So, I'm not to blame tits of that, but I didn't have the average life. I didn't have the average childhood. And then, your father is supposed to teach you about being a man, right? They pass it on. Like, I know your son is blessed.
Yes, my son.
I know. I don't even know about your
I don't have kids.
Kids or nothing.
Nope.
But not to get off the point, but your father is supposed to lead you. So I always say, now that my father's dead and gone, because I would never say nothing about my dad while he was alive. I'm scared to death of my dad. Even as a grown man, I'm still scared of my dad and what he's capable of doing. But I say it like, well, he sold me a bag of bullshit, because his thing was use women, right? That they have to have money, I didn't understand anything about pleasing them, about making them have an orgasm, not making them. It was all about getting mine, bam, bam, buy it. You know what I'm saying?
That's old school. No, we're evolved.
I'm trying to make a point. If you listen to me, you'll hear it. It's in there, right? I think that we are affected by what we're taught as children.
Yes, of course.
Right?
But we mature and we grow as we go older. We get our experience and wisdom kicks in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you owe me and I'll go.
Oh, go. I'm in. Whatever.
I'm in. So what I'm saying is that the way I was raised and the way I resulted from all the shit that I went through, I looked at women. My thing, Dad was like, yo, they gotta have money, don't ask them for nothing. But when you do ask them for something, make sure it's a big number, and if they don't give it to you, cut them off right then and there. I watched my father beat women up and make them do things. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him. I know he robbed banks. I seen him on TV once. He just came home and when the stats wasn't there, he said, I gotta go do one more. And sure enough, it came up, breaking news. He still had on the same coat he had when he left out the house.
That's crazy.
And man comes up to the booth with a letter. That was my dad. And it's like, and then from that, it switched because he got me hooked on coke. So I went from a gigolo, from messing with women with money, because they had money. Then I went to messing with women who had money for drugs. So I ended up getting pimped. You know what I'm saying? I went from the gigolo to now they paying me with drugs.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, then when I broke into the movie, but when I got hit by the truck, I got paid. Then women were messing with me because I had money. I'm walking around with $5,000 in my pocket every week, spending money, never wearing the same clothes twice. I used to go to the store with the clothes on that I bought yesterday with the tag still on it, that I slept in, and I go in the store and buy new and change in the store, you know? I mean, I ran through 50 grand one summer, just sniffing and basing.
It's crazy.
My father showed me where to buy it. You know what I'm saying? He used to buy banks. He'd come home with the money that exploded. You know how money explodes? That's just real. The money explodes because they put some ink shit in the bag. So when you open the bag, the whole shit goes.
Oh, wow.
He used to open the bag, right? Look out. Then he give me the money, say go break it. So I take the money with the ink on it and go buy drugs. Drug dealer don't care, play numbers. You don't have to go break it. But I think I got off the point. But what made me go down there? What made me go down there? The father. You know?
Right.
The father. Because, a lot of times, like, women won't tell you how they feel. They won't tell you everything. You got to know. Sometimes they want you to make the first move. Like, I've had women who cut me off because I didn't sleep with them. Because they wanted to, and I said no. You'd be surprised that they don't like that. They could tell you no 1,000 times. You can say no, I'm not in the mood, one time, and they never speak to you again.
I go. I mean,
Okay.
it's just double standards. A lot of things in life are so double standards, but like I said, your story, what you just told me was very like you put the jewels, and like I said, like I'm a father, so we need more fathers. I can't speak for other households, but just to see single mothers got to play both roles and all that, it hurts too, because as a father, we need our kids. Our kids need us, no matter if it's a son or a daughter. Especially fathers need to be in their daughter's life, teach the daughter how to really love and how to receive a love from a man, so that's what fathers supposed to do, provide and protect. So for me, I love my son to death. Like I always tell my son, I love you, no matter what it is. Like it could be just a regular day, like yo, son, I love you, because it doesn't matter. Like I said,
My father never said that to me.
we need our family.
It's good to hear. It's good to say.
It's good to say that, and then plus,
Actually, I can't say never, because one time he didn't come out. It wasn't like somebody said I love you, like don't really say it, but it's like he was basically saying that he would kill for me. And what happened was the dude did disappear, but what happened was it was my aunt's. I don't know if I should say this. It was my aunt's husband who tried to kill me, who ice picked me in like different places. And I'm laying in the hospital. But the thing is, my cousin stabbed him in the back with like 2 knives. So I couldn't press charges. Because if I press charges against him, he's going to press charges against my cousin. And I lost my cousin trying to get at him. So I just laid there. I almost bled out.
You survived that. Thank you, God.
thank God.
Yeah. But see, that what I like is that, we talk about being a good father, because the words that you put in kids stay with them forever.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is the detrimental words. They stay too.
They stay
you know.
too,
And I noticed how some people, like this lady was screaming on her son. He's a little tiny little boy. And I'm trying to wait for I was waiting for the light, and she was talking to him, but the tone in her voice was like she was talking to a dude in jail, you know. And sometimes I think the anger that they have towards the father, they take it out on the son. You know, maybe the son looks like the father, but she was going in on him real hard. And then she even said, and people need to mind their business. Because people, I guess, she knew I'd seen it all, and other people, so she's like, people need to mind their business. But I'm like, why put your kid down in public? You know, why
put them
curse?
down in private? Little kids, they absorb everything. You know, you try to encourage people with positive thinking.
You think that's the difference?
Reassures the negative behavior, and positive will reassure a positive attitude. You know, even if they mess up, you know, well, we know you didn't mean to. Versus,
Is that the
what's the matter with
difference?
you, fool?
Is that the difference between white families and black families?
No, it's not white or black. It's a positive and negative. It's being reaffirming a positive, optimistic faith in tomorrow versus smacking them and putting people down.
Okay, so, all right, so, okay, it's not about black or white, but in my experience, I've seen kids, like white kids, talk back to their parents and throw little fits or whatever, and the white parents don't smack their lips off. They just talk to them. They talk to them. You know, and I think that they read, because they, like, I get a little jealous when I watch TV and I see kids getting tucked in at night. What the hell is that? I never got tucked in at night. You know what I'm saying? They get tucked in, and then the kid's like, Dad, will you read me a bedtime story? What?
Right.
No, I didn't get that.
Read a
So I'm
bedtime
thinking maybe
story,
that's,
put the kids to sleep.
that's what I'm saying.
That's a good tradition.
I don't see that. I saw a lot of black families where it seemed like it's like too many kids, and she looks so worn out. She
Well,
looks
Alonzo, you put your kids to
so
sleep, don't you?
pissed.
You give them a bedtime story. People, you know, come on now. You're
No,
on
I'm
to
saying
have
that's the, I'm
morals
talking about
and
my.
etiquette and
I can speak from my
sensibility, or you
own.
don't.
What I've seen coming up. I'm not speaking for anybody.
Yeah, well,
Nobody can tell me I'm right or wrong.
No.
If I'm talking about my eye vision, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I grew up on 125th and Lenox Avenue, right? Building 293. Well, right now it's now a mall, right? I was there when there was a stoop in front of the building, you know what I'm saying? So if you know anything about Harlem, 125th Street,
I know.
I've seen some things.
well, that's. I was just thinking last night. I saw that movie with Coach Carter with Samuel Jackson about ghetto kids in a bad neighborhood, but he had dignity. He wanted them to wear a suit and tie. He said you get good grades before you worry about basketball, and even you can be in the poorest and slummiest area, but you have pride and dignity in yourself, and you can come out. It's a question of every individual to take pride in themselves and love and respect themselves. Respect is. It's not color. It's, you know, it has nothing to do with color. It has to do with how a man carries himself and wants his kids to grow up with education.
I had to. No, I'm not saying there's I'm just speaking from my experience. Do you understand? It seemed like when I see white kids, they spoke better. They were more articulate, more interested in reading. I wasn't really pushed to read. I had one uncle that was like, read, you know, and he was the one that used to make me count cards. Like he would put up a deck, and he'd put up another card. I had to keep up with him. So he's probably the reason why I'm not incarcerated. But I had another uncle that was drilling me on Islam, trying to make me a Christian. Another one trying to tell me about selling drugs. And you know, I had different, one was a rapist, so, you know, I had different influences. But I had to, I'm not finished, 1 second. But even with the rapes and everything, I was outcasted in school. All the kids made fun of me because I was the smallest one. So I actually found strength in being alone, because I was alone and I felt alone. You know, I felt like, why all this shit happening to me? You know, why was my family abusing me and my father beating me up like this? And I went to church, and I went to a Pentecostal church. So on one side, I felt like I was going to die and go to hell because I was committing sin, sexual sin, having sex with a man. You know, I thought I was going to burn in hell because my uncle was taking advantage of me. But then I committed incest. So I was confused. But I got strength with music. The gospel music, I guess, saved me. Because the gospel music, I would just cry. And I would dance. I would shout. And I would just shout. And then I remember there was times when there was a church, like to go to my school. Before I could go to school, I used to have to pass a church. And I remember when I used to grab the bar of the church, and I just was like, I would cry and pray to God, and I said, look, where should I go? Because I didn't want to go to school, because I was being abused in school, you know, beat up and gang members and shit. And I didn't want to go home, because I was getting the same shit at home. So I was stuck in front of the church like, what the hell, you know? But, you know, being outcasted, and then even when people put me down because I was dancing so much, I was taking ballet, they was calling me a homo, I just would black everybody out, close my eyes, and I become one with the music. And the music, the dancing, made me go to a place called The Door. And when I went to The Door, I was dancing, and the acting company came, and
90 seconds, gentlemen, 90.
And I auditioned. Next thing you know, I got the part in the movie, and it changed my life, right? So anyway, the show is almost over. Hey, goodbye from all my Alanzo.
Frank Craven.
Frank Craven. Hey, if you want to be on my show, call me 646-874-6597. You want to put your info out?
You can find me in Facebook, Alanzo Phillips, TikTok, Alanzo Phillips, and my Instagram, I am Alanzo Phillips. So I'm going to spell my first name, capital Alanzo Phillips, Phillips. It's the same thing for TikTok and Instagram, I am Alanzo Phillips.
Okay. Say your stuff.
I'm Uncle Frankie's Music Workshop Parade on Instagram and Frank Craven on Facebook. I just want to say quickly, I was Eddie Munster, but I couldn't read. My parents had me hypnotized. I was 8 years old, and then I got into comic books and reading. So
Eddie Munster from the show?
Oh, yeah, but I couldn't read the script. I was cast in it because my dad was an actor in Hollywood. They just said, oh, we need someone here. So I showed up on set, but then I couldn't read the script, and so I didn't like reading. But then they hypnotized me. They had a hypnotist, and then I fell in love with reading.
Thank you to MNN. You don't have to pay now. Just take the what is it called? The
Orientation.
Right. We're done. I think we're done. We're done,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alanzo.
Very nice
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for showing
My
up and
pleasure.
everything.
I'm sorry I got to run real quick because
I hope I didn't make you
someone's
messy.
waiting for me, and I had to promise them I'd be there.
Yeah,
But I
no,
look
we
forward to
went
seeing you,
over.
and let me know
Yeah,
when
I'ma
the
keep-
show airs.
Yeah, you know I will. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Most
Thanks
definitely.
again. Good meeting you, Alonzo, and thanks again, Rick.
Alanzo.